I do work with one direct client only, but I am a part-time loan signing water with you. Just make sure you take care of yourself, because if you don't, no one will. And that's just my number one thing I do. Sometimes I'll stress out because documents are in and I have 4 signings that day, and I will have to come back all the way home when I could have just gone from one signing to another. But sometimes things happen and it's okay. You just have to remember to breathe. Please, just breathe. Don't let it get to you. I've learned the hard way that stress is not good for yourself. And yeah, those are just my tips on how you can be more prepared for a signing. Also, like I said, we'll be making a what's in my notary bag video. That'll be probably the next video after that. I'm gonna try to post 2 videos a week from now on. But life just gets busy. I do have a full-time job and I do this on the side. I mentioned before, I do have a small business that I'm running. So it can get really, really busy sometimes. The signing is in 20 minutes. I think I'm like 10 minutes away. What I like to do is arrive there 10 minutes before. I always give myself that 10 to 15 minute window, but you don't want to arrive 15 minutes before because it's too early. 10 minutes is perfect. I do a little notary work, general notary work here and there. I do have my page on Google My Business, and I'll get calls here and there, usually like over the weekends where a lot of notaries don't work, and that's a little extra cash. Sometimes I'm about to run out the door, they call me, they come in real quick, and I made $30, so not bad. Let me know if you also want like a marketing video on just general notary work. Hi guys, so I'm out of my signing now. That literally took like 30 minutes, and it was 2 set of documents that we needed to sign. He didn't care, he was just signing and signing and signing and signing. So anyways, I'm headed to FedEx right now. I'm gonna drop the documents and then I'm gonna get something to eat. I'm starving. So I want to give you the last tip that I have, which I honestly believe is one of the most important tips. It is very important to keep yourself safe, because you don't have any idea who you're dealing with. You have no idea where your signing is, you know, where it's taking place. Sometimes if you feel like it's too out of town, too sketchy, you can always contact the signer and agree to meet somewhere more publicly, maybe outside of Starbucks, or maybe just inside of Starbucks, any cafe, anything like that. Anytime you're giving an assignment by a signing service, you'll see the address pop up even before you accept, just as an offer, which is really cool, I think, because then you'll see, oh, it's way too out of town, or you know, I have a couple signings that day, it's close to the signing, so I can take it. So it's really nice to see like the address. It is just very important to keep yourself safe. So one thing that I always just make sure that someone I know knows where I'm at. So I either, usually what I'll do is just I'll text them, I'll let them know, hey, I'm gonna be at a signing, or I'm gonna be at a couple signings, can I send you my location? Because sometimes if my sister's at work or my husband's at work, they can't get to their phone. So I want to be able to give my location to someone who can see where I'm at, you know, just in case, God forbid, anything happens, but just to keep yourself safe. Because being a mobile notary can be a little bit risky sometimes. That can be one of the cons for a lot of people. So sometimes it's really outside of the city limits, and I called in and we agreed to meet at a Starbucks. We met at a bookstore. It was a Starbucks inside a bookstore once, and it was honestly really nice. And don't just share the address. Don't copy and paste the address. Don't do that. One, because you want to keep the borrower's privacy. So just share your location. So usually what I'll do is when I'm leaving out the door, I'll text someone, whoever I want to text, and be like, hey, I'm on my way to do a couple signings. Can I send you my live location? They're like, yeah. So I send them my live location, and they'll get to see if they go in there where I'm at. My sister sometimes has it, and she's like, LOL, you're at Starbucks. Bring me a Starbucks, because it was like a near Starbucks to her house, and I'm like, I'm in between signings and I'm actually doing a signing here. She's like, oh, okay. So it's nice. So she'll just check up on me and text me throughout the day. She's like, do you need anything? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. So it's really nice, and it's just, first and foremost, it is just for your safety. I'm at FedEx. Usually what I'll do is just, I'll go in and one last time just check that I didn't miss anything, and especially not anything on my part. Okay, I'm gonna go drop these off. I'll be right back. So I just dropped out the documents. I notified the signing service that the documents were completed and they were dropped off, so they should be receiving it tomorrow, hopefully. I will also be making just another video on how, I had mentioned before, how I prep the documents. I'll be making another video on what I keep in my notary bag, another video on what you should keep in your office. I don't know if you have an office, a room, your living room, wherever you operate from, just the essentials on that. I'll be making a couple videos. Like I said, I'll try to make 2 videos per week. I just think it's so awkward when you're driving and you're at a traffic light and people are just right next to you. I feel like they're staring at me. I just ordered some Chipotle. I'm gonna go get that and drive home, and that's it for today. I'll be editing this video today, hopefully get it uploaded tomorrow morning. As of right now, I don't have any signings scheduled for tomorrow. I have one scheduled for Thursday. Today's Monday, so I have one scheduled for Thursday. But lately I've been seeing a lot of pop-ups today, since it is the last week of the month and it gets pretty busy, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you very much, guys, for watching and coming along with me on my day as a loan signing agent. It was just a glimpse and a part of the day, but I hope you enjoyed it. It can get a little hectic, but just remember, breathe, don't stress yourself, because stress is not worth it. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.